This is CGTN, China Global Television Network.
And now we're down to the final two. Record 7-time winners Egypt or the 2-time losing finalists Senegal will be crowned the champions of the continent on Sunday when the curtains come down on a scintillating, dramatic and tragic Cameroon Africa Cup of Nations finals. Tonight we kick off in Cameroon to preview the biggest game in African football as we cast an eye on the Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics that are underway in China. Hello and a very warm welcome to Sports Scene, your home of African sports news, views and interviews from across the African continent and beyond. I'm Mahia Mutua in Nairobi, and standing by for us in Yaoundé, it's my colleague Mohamed Abubakar. Mohamed?
Thank you, Mahia. I'm live from the magnificent Olembe Stadium here in Yaoundé, Cameroon, as we build up to Sunday's Africa Cup of Nations final.
Right, well, Senegal and record winners Egypt are set to meet in the final of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations in Yaoundé, Cameroon on Sunday. Now, with both teams starting slowly in the group stage of the competition, they've managed to shift through the gears in the knockout stages to set up what will be a thrilling final. CGTN's Mohamed Abubakar previews this one for us now.
After the completion of the group stage at this year's Africa Cup of Nations, very few considered Senegal and Egypt favourites to reach the final. Slow starts for both teams saw Senegal top Group B with only 1 win, 2 draws and just 1 goal scored, while Egypt started with defeat before finishing second behind Nigeria in Group E. Senegal's goal-scoring spree began in the knockouts, beating Cape Verde 2-0 in the round of 16, before identical 3-1 victories over Equatorial Guinea and Burkina Faso in the quarters and semis. Egypt, on the other hand, knocked out previous champions Côte d'Ivoire, Morocco and hosts Cameroon to reach the final.
Let's forget the group stage, how they performed in the group stages. Probably they're still picking up their paces little by little, and of course luck shone on both sides. But when they got to the real business of the tournament, they picked up.
The final will also give football fans a chance to watch arguably 2 of the best African players currently in Sadio Mane and Mo Salah as they try to lead their countries to glory. The forwards are also teammates at club level in the English Premier League side Liverpool, further adding spice to the showdown.
These are the 2 best players we have on the African stage right now, no doubt about that, and they are in their prime. They are scoring goals with reckless abandon for the same club. They've won the Champions League together. They've won the Premiership together. They've won trophies together. So this is the only trophy that one of them will win and one of them will lose.
Senegal has reached the final in this competition twice before, losing on both occasions in Mali 2002 and the last edition Egypt 2019. Despite Egypt being the record 7-time winners, their fans are yet to see the current generation lift the trophy, with their 2017 final loss in Gabon being the closest they've come in the last decade.
It will make a big change for them. I mean, they're still, the majority are still young, and this will help us even win more championships in the future. But I hope we start with this and let's see what comes next. Yeah.
Indeed, we are proud to be in the final. But the main objective remains to win the AFCON. It won't be easy. For a long time now, we've been chasing this title. We've been having great teams, always having amazing individual players, but still, we do not have an African title to show for it.
Right, well, for more on this, let's now speak to Mohamed Abubakar, who has been covering the tournament for us and is now standing by in Yaoundé, Cameroon. Mohamed, we now know the 2 teams that will go head-to-head for Africa's biggest football prize. What can we expect in Sunday's final?
Well, Mahia, we should expect a fierce battle between these 2 teams. As you've heard in my report, both sets of players and fans as well for both countries have been yearning for this title. Senegal have been in the final twice, in 2002 where they lost it to Cameroon, and most recently in Egypt where they lost it to Algeria as well. So they believe it's going to be third time lucky this time round. As for Egypt, we know they're the record holders for this competition, but the current team, the current squad in this Egyptian team are yet to test glory in this competition. The closest they came was in 2017 where they lost to Cameroon. So they've also been yearning for this title, and hopefully they hope to turn up on Sunday and make sure they get this trophy. So we should be expecting a fantastic showpiece of football tomorrow, Mahia.
And Mohammed, we now know, obviously this year's edition, as it comes to a close, has thrown up a number of surprises that we may not have seen coming. Tell us more about what caught your eye there.
I think it's the beauty of the expanded tournament from 16 to 24. Last edition as well, we managed to see a lot of smaller nations in football, if you may call them, turn up and appear. And this time round, the same happened. We have the likes of Malawi, who reached the knockout stages. We have Sierra Leone, who gave a game to Cote d'Ivoire. But for me, the teams that stood out is Comoros, of course, the debutants, and the Gambia. Comoros managing to reach the knockout stages and also putting up a fight against the hosts Cameroon when they played without half their team due to COVID-19, and also a goalkeeper who is a fullback. But the Gambia, I mean, debutants to reach all the way to the quarterfinals. It's been an amazing run for them. I won't talk too much about them because I visited them while I was in Douala in their training session and filed this report.
The Gambia was one of two debutants at the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations. Ranked 150th in the FIFA World Rankings, the lowest of the 24 teams at this year's competition, many did not give them a chance. However, they surpassed everyone's expectations, qualifying from a tough group that included former champions Tunisia, Mali and Mauritania.
Really proud to see our team at the AFCON for the very first time, and just coming here, not making the numbers, but putting up a fantastic performance in the quarterfinals. Unbelievable. Not even the biggest Scorpion fan back home would have fancied our chances at the tournament, but our run has been nothing but a fairy tale, a positive one, the best PR for our country.
The Scorpions went through Group F unbeaten, beating Mauritania 1-0 in their first ever AFCON game. A credible 1-1 draw with Mali set the stage for their most stunning win in Cameroon, the 1-0 win over 2004 champions Tunisia that made the world sit up and take notice. Guinea was the next African giant to feel the sting in the round of 16 with another 1-0 win, before their amazing run was ended by hosts Cameroon in the quarters.
I think we are having that belief. Nowadays football, everyone knows how to play football, but most of the people don't have the belief, the confidence that we will just come up to this stage of the tournament. But thank God with the spirit of the boys, we make it up to this stage. But I think it's been a very big achievement for us for the first time competing, coming up to the quarterfinal.
Coach Tom Saint-Fee hopes the team's fairy tale run at the 2021 AFCON isn't a one-off. With the amount of young talent coming through, he added the Gambia should aim for consistency and growth.
The coming years we have to develop this team. There are more young talent coming into a team that regularly can qualify for the big tournaments, 2023, 2025, and big dream is World Cup 2026, where 9 African countries can compete in Mexico, Canada and United States. And I believe it's possible. We have a lot of talent, and this could be a very school to develop the team for the bigger tournaments in the future.
And staying with my colleague Mohammed, finally, the action is not over in Cameroon. There's still 2 matches to be played. What predictions do you have for those 2 matches, the third place playoff and the ultimate final on Sunday?
Well, Mahia, I'm literally standing in the middle of the 2 annex pitches here at the Olembe Stadium, where Senegal, who are on this side, and Egypt, who are on the other side, are conducting their final training before tomorrow's final. So before I give you my prediction, I managed to speak to some of the fans both nations after their semi-final victory, just to find out what they think about their chances. Have a listen.
It will be very, very difficult for players who played 120 minutes every game for 3 times in a row. I think it's very difficult, but I think we can do it, inshallah. We can do it.
The winner Egypt will win over Senegal in the final. Mohamed Salah, inshallah, will be the best player in the world.
Thank you.
Everyone will have a chance to win it. You can see how Sadio Mane had a difficult start in the tournament, but he slowly picked form as we kept progressing. You can see he's really motivated. In 2019, we were in the final, but of course, we didn't win it. But this time, I'm confident we will win the Africa Cup of Nations.
Well, I've played 120 minutes.
Well, that was CGTN's Mohamed Abubakar joining us live from Yaoundé, previewing the final two matches at the Africa Cup of Nations, the third place playoff and the final on Sunday between Senegal and Egypt. And speaking of that match, let's now take a look at how both teams advanced to the Cameroon 2021 Africa Cup of Nations finals. You're watching Sports Scene here on CGTN. It's time for us to take a short break. Here's what's coming up when we return. Up ahead, Egyptians reflect on the Pharaohs' run to the Cameroon Africa Cup of Nations final.
Africa is a continent of diversity, with varied climates and enchanting geography, and a people so distinct, but with a shared enduring spirit. We are at the heart of the continent to bring you the untold stories.
Let's have a look.
We celebrate Africa as it shapes its own destiny.
Tunis, Cairo, Juba, Ethiopia, Tanzania.
Africa Live. Find your voice.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us on Sports Scene. Now, Egypt made it to the Africa Cup of Nations final after knocking out the hosts Cameroon on Thursday. The Pharaohs were barely able to stem the flow of pressure from the indomitable Lions but remained resolute to emerge victorious. Here is Adel Mahroui with a reaction from Cairo.
The excitement of the hosts Cameroon was evident before the kickoff of the second semi-final of the 2021 AFCON. It was hard for the Pharaohs to hold the indomitable Lions back as they clearly wanted to push for an early goal. Up until the end of the normal time, Egypt was on the ropes, but the record tournament winners defended with all their worth. Upset with the referee's behavior, tension rose between him and Egyptian players as well as the coaching staff. The Pharaohs' coach Carlos Queiroz was sent off amid all the drama as the game approached the end of normal time.
Bakary
Gassama did not have real judgment mistakes, but it appeared that he intended to stop all and any move by the Egyptian team while he did not do the same to Cameroon. The way he talked to the Egyptian team was very irritating. Carlos Queiroz may have intended to step up his remarks to blow some steam off the players, but he did not do anything that deserves a red card.
Queiroz got a red card after remonstrating with Gambian referee Bakary Gassama. A minute later, Gassama flashed the yellow to assistant coach Wael Goma. These tense moments appeared to have reversed the game as the Pharaohs pushed for a victory in extra time.
At the beginning of the match, I thought we would lose because the players were clearly under pressure, but they surprised. We were tense, of course, because this was the third match with extra time for us. In total, that's almost an additional match that Egypt played compared to the others.
In the penalty kicks, Zamalek's Abu Gabal shone for the second time in the tournament, saving 2 of Cameroon's shots, giving Egypt the advantage in the shootout.
Mohamed Abu Gabal is playing the competition of his lifetime. He has never played as well with any club as he is playing with the national team. This is a new version of him. He is becoming a strong supporter to the national team.
Abu Gabal was the real star today. He played despite his injury from the last match against Morocco. He stood strong and blocked 2 penalty kicks. What a game. The players played well too. We have played against the strongest teams in the knockout stages. Unlike Senegal, it was lacking that part.
The Pharaohs have so far entertained Africa with thrilling football knockout stages. Marathonic back-to-back 120 minutes long games that stretch the thrill of football like no other. And as they reach the final and will face the fierce Senegal, many here are wondering if this fairy tale story will have a happy ending for Egypt. Adel Mahroui, CGTN, Cairo.
And staying in North Africa, the fallout over the Africa Cup of Nations exits continued this week with Tunisia, the latest finalist, to sack their head coach. Monder Kebaya was dismissed from his position after being accused of mismanagement of the Carthage Eagles, who crashed out to Burkina Faso during the quarterfinals in a 1-0 defeat. Here is Adnan Chawashi with more.
Monder Kebaya was sacked the day after the elimination of the Carthage Eagles from the AFCON 2021 in Cameroon. Kebaya has been accused of mismanaging the national football team before and during the tournament. His assistant, Jalal Qadri, was appointed as new coach for the Eagles of Carthage.
We tried to overcome many difficulties during the tournament. The players did their best. I assume my responsibility. Losing and not reaching the semi-finals is real deception.
The assistant head coach was appointed temporarily. The Football Federation will either maintain him in this position or designate a foreign technical staff to train the national squad. A new Tunisian coach could also be appointed to manage the national team.
The Eagles of Carthage say that the 2021 AFCON experience was challenging on all levels. Several COVID-19 infections prevented some of the best players from giving their best during the competition. In addition, members of the Tunisian Football Federation blamed referees at the AFCON finals for bizarre decisions.
The spread of COVID infections among the team was disastrous. I personally experienced it, and it was difficult to play normally just after the recovery. One cannot give 100% in the match while the heart and chest still hurt. Now let's focus on the next match with Mali in less than 45 days to guarantee Tunisia's qualifications for the World Cup.
As Africans, we must understand that we cannot improve African football when some referees show unprofessional behavior. We blame ourselves for losing matches, but we also blame some referees for their bad performance.
The Tunisian Minister of Youth and Sports has now urged the team to forget the painful AFCON experience and focus on the 2022 FIFA World Cup final qualifier.
I congratulate all the national team players and the staff for their performance in the AFCON. Tunisia is proud of them. Now the objective is to qualify for the World Cup. Our adversary is strong, but Tunisians are determined to win. We can do it.
The 2022 CAF World Cup qualifiers witnessed 54 African nations competing for only 5 spots in the upcoming World Cup in Qatar. Tunisia will play Mali next month. The last time Tunisia and Mali faced each other was quite recently, during AFCON 2021. Adnan Chawashi, CGTN, Tunis.
Ghana has just appointed former professional footballer and English Premier League manager Chris Hughton as the new coach for the national team. The West African country is racing against time to get ready for their Crunch World Cup qualifying playoff against Nigeria in March. CGTN's Nabil Ahmed Rufai reports from Accra.
The coaching job for Ghana's national football team became vacant after the GFA fired Serbian coach Milovan Rajvac over the country's poor showing at the AFCON in Cameroon. The team exited from the tournament during the group stage playoffs. Former English professional footballer and Newcastle United coach Chris Hilton, who has ties with Ghana, has been highly tipped for the position. It has received mixed reactions from Ghanaian football fans.
If you are going to have patience for a coach to get time, settle, build players and maintain a squad for the Black Stars, not calling different players all the time, I think Ghana is going to get somewhere. So Chris Hilton coming up is a good plus for Ghana.
There's more we can do to get someone who is well fit for the job. Not to say that he isn't, but I think that there's a lot more we can do. But just, and rather than allowing people to cherry pick as to who to fit in that space to carry the national team to a point where we so desire as a country.
Chris Hilton has been in Ghana and is reported to have met with Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo and other government officials. He has also been in talks with Chelsea and England striker Callum Hudson-Odoi to declare for Ghana if he takes the coaching job. If he is appointed, his first task will be to lead the Black Stars in the World Cup qualifying playoff against Nigeria in March.
It is a game of equals, and so I'm looking at that manager who is able to pick the right personnel. The right personnel means players who are very much committed and dedicated to our cause, the cause being our quest to qualify for Qatar 2022. And so we've been there before. We just would have to figure out who is best fit, who has got the balls to, as it were, pick the right arsenal to face Nigeria.
Meanwhile, the GFA says Hilton has yet to officially declare his interest to coach the national team. While Chris Hilton's name has come up tops for the coaching job, the GFA is also considering Borussia Dortmund assistant coach Otto Addo for the position. Nabil Ahmed Rufai, CGTN, Accra, Ghana.
Right, well, still to come on the program. Beijing Winter Olympics opening ceremony continues to receive rave reviews.
You don't find the stories of North Africa by sitting on the sidelines.
You've got to get out, go there, and you'll find them. In the bazaars of Casablanca, among the crowds in Cairo,
Who come to visit Cairo, the ancient capital of Egypt.
along the waters of the Nile, along the sands of the Sahara. No one else will take you where we can in North Africa. No one else will show you what it's all about. CGTN, see the difference.
Welcome back. Let's now turn our attention to the 2022 Winter Games in China, where award-winning filmmaker Zhang Yimou has returned to direct the opening and closing ceremonies of yet another Olympics in Beijing. He spoke to the press earlier about the highlights, along with the CEO of Olympic Broadcasting Services. The Beijing 2022 opening ceremony drew attention with its visual effects and green concepts. This year, the number of performers was reduced to 3,000 and the typically big flamed cauldron was replaced by a single torch. The event's director says he's satisfied with the outcome of the ceremony that integrated Chinese cultural elements. The idea of a shared future for humankind dominated the show, culminating in a giant snowflake formed by more than 90 smaller ones representing participating countries and regions.
I give a full score of 100 to my team and the performance last night. There are countless people making contributions behind the scenes. Their hard work, innovative ideas and creations made the opening ceremony this year a reality.
That position was outside of the stadium, it was outside of the Olympic green, it was outside of the loop. But we all worked together to bring this camera and this shot to life. We used 5G, we used the efforts of everybody to coordinate to place a camera at the exact position where it would create this effect.
Well, let's take a look at the latest medal standings in Beijing. 5 gold medals have been claimed so far as Sweden's Walter Wahlberg took the gold medal in men's freestyle moguls. Slovenia won both gold and bronze in the women's ski jumping event, while Norway struck gold in both the biathlon mixed relay and the women's skiathlon event as Therese Johaug bagged the first gold for the Scandinavians. The Netherlands' Irene Schouten won the 3,000 meter speed skating event, breaking an Olympic record. Finally, Nigeria has sent 1 athlete to the Beijing Winter Olympics. French-born skier Samuel Ikpefan, who chose to compete for his father's country, will take part in the skiing event. Nigeria made its Winter Olympics debut in bobsled and skeleton in 2018, but plans to take part at Beijing 2022 were scuttled by circumstances. However, that has not diminished the growing popularity of winter sports in Nigeria. CGTN's Deji Bademosi has that story.
No ice tracks, no problem. This is the 2022 Winter Olympics national trials of the Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation of Nigeria back in September last year. Everything here is improvised. It's a testament to the raw determination of the Nigerian bobsleigh and skeleton teams to make it to the Winter Olympics. And at the heart of everything is former Olympian and founder of Nigeria bobsleigh team, Shenwa Adigun.
We had a welder that put together a sled for us for a bobsled and a sled for skeleton, and they applied that sled to the rails that were then placed on the concrete at the National Stadium in the parking lot. And we had a push trials, and obviously, just like any first time, you will have bumps and bruises and challenges that you didn't expect to happen, but we're really grateful that we were able to successfully complete the trials.
It's a remarkable feat by Adigun and her team in a football-crazy country where most people knew almost nothing about bobsleigh and skeleton until 2018, when Adigun led Nigeria and Africa's first-ever bobsleigh team to the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, South Korea. Unfortunately, due to a change in qualification rules and visa issues, the Nigerian bobsleigh and skeleton team could not make it to the Winter Games in Beijing. But Adigun says that turnout at the trials has been a huge plus in their effort to make the sports popular in the country.
You want to reference the movie Cool Runnings, you know, when they looked back trying to recruit people and there was no one in the room. And so when we had way more people in the room, we were like, wow, you know, this thing really must have empowered others to believe that they can do something bigger than themselves and that you don't need winter in your country to be able to do something special. So I was both shocked, but also I was blessed and honored and excited, you know, to see the popularity of the sport in Nigeria, because I think it gives our youth an opportunity to do something else to represent their country and to be proud of.
Despite the disappointment of not making it to the ongoing Winter Games in Beijing, interest in bobsleigh and skeleton is now rising in Nigeria. And if the current pace of growth of the sport is sustained, then it may not be too long before Nigeria becomes a regular feature in Winter Games. Deji Bademosi, CGTN, Lagos, Nigeria.
And that's all we have for you on this week's edition of Sports Scene. Do remember, as always, you can send your feedback to those contacts on your screen and give us a follow on our digital media platforms. I'm Mahia Mutua. Thanks for watching. We leave you now with our move of the week, the sporting highlight this week, where Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady, widely considered the greatest player in NFL history, announced his retirement on Tuesday after an age-defying career during which he won a record 7 Super Bowl championships.